radio stations across the land, joepags.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, email. It's all right there. Also, Newsmax TV, the Joe Pags Show. Glad to have you along for the ride on a Friday. I'll give you some strings. Horn section. Absolutely. You know it. What day is it anyway? Where is Bob Guthrie? Come on. Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Thank God it is Friday. Friday. Uh-huh. Thank God it's Friday. Thank God it is Friday. Yes, indeed. Let's make it a free speech Friday. Let's go. That is Carrie Lockie, by the way. Carrie, what's going on?
Hey, how's it going?
Big weekend plans? What you got? What you doing?
Not really. Just going to stay close to home and chill, relax.
I'm going to work. I'll be working.
Because you love the people.
Because the people know that I love the people, and we appreciate you. This is also about the same time we started on Newsmax. It's 3 years now, I believe. It's got to be 3 years, right? That's crazy to me.
Wow.
And these people have been letting us into their houses for a long time. We appreciate you. Somebody the other day wrote me and said, can you tell the story of Bob Guthrie again, please? Because on Friday, I play Thank God It's Friday, and we actually started doing that. What was the song? Was it by Cream or somebody, the Friday song that they played before we started doing the morning show, Polo? What was that song? Felt like it was Cream.
No, it was...
It's like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and finally you get to Friday or something. Some song like that.
No, I think it was the Easy Beats.
I don't know.
That's what it was called.
Never heard of the Easy Beats. I don't know. But whatever the song was, it just didn't fit what I do. More of a horn section guy, more of a Motown sound guy, more of an Aretha guy. Actually, it was first suggested to me, and Carrie, I don't know if you remember this. We did the TGIF song. It used to not go to Aretha Franklin. It used to go to Paul McCartney singing some song, Freedom.
I don't remember
like guitar
that.
and really? Yeah, it didn't feel right to me, and I said, I'm gonna go with Aretha. So then we put Aretha Franklin in there. Good choice. But Bob Guthrie was the morning news anchor. Was he always the morning news anchor at WOAI?
Yes, I believe so.
For like 52 years.
Mm-hmm.
Great guy. So when I started 14 years ago, I came to work in the morning. I was the host, and then you had Bob was the news anchor along with Stan Kelly. Stan Kelly used to be the announcer over at the Spurs games. Both just great guys, both very welcoming to me, very nice. But you were afraid of Bob because his voice was the voice of God. That's him on that recording.
Voice.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And driving in that morning, I tell the story often, I was afraid. I was like, I'm going to turn around. I'm not going to work with this guy because I've got a deep voice. But this guy's voice was like, that's it, shut up. And I'm here. I'm present. I'm Bob Guthrie. And everything was perfect. It was perfect. And he didn't know it yet, but he was going to be my straight man for my little morning comedy. But then you realize that Bob knew what I was doing almost immediately. He actually got mad. Paul, you remember how mad he got at me with the Vermont teddy bears? He got so mad. Because in the Vermont, it's a great company. It was a nice gift, whatever. He was endorsing this company. And the sales pitch, for some reason, Vermont Teddy Bear needed the person endorsing them to say, it's even got an air hole. So, you know what I mean? Carrie, I'm a child.
Oh, no.
I'm a
yes,
child.
We all know that. I knew exactly, yeah.
Polo, am I right? And every time he did it, I'd say, so Bob, does that have an air hole? I would just say it on the air. Well, yes, it does.
Or
yes,
Bob.
It does have an air. He walked into my studio one morning. He said, stop the crap. He was like, he wasn't having it. Paulo, you remember that morning? Because I was like, I would constantly say air hole after he said it.
Oh, yeah.
It was good. It was just that good. So Bob and I became good friends. And when I started using Thank God It's Friday, I said, Bob, this would sound so cool if you sang along. What do you mean? So, well, you know, when they say, thank God, you can nail that. That would be great. So I didn't think he was going to do anything. So I'm either ready for him to do nothing in the song, or he's going to say, thank God it's... And we play the song. Polo plays the song. And The first verse goes by. I'm like, he's not going to do anything. He goes, Friday. I'm like, what the hell is that? Thank God it's Friday. And I'm like, that's the greatest thing I've ever heard in my life. We lost the original recording, or we didn't record it. So he actually came in, I think after Polo, did he come after he retired? I think he did.
No. He,
but he did re-record it for me.
Yeah, because he was there with me, because him and I would, when he was doing the news, I was there with him, and I was, running the board for him. And so I recorded him, and what we have is what he did.
There you go. So, and he said, I'm going to do this, but because I think I was already off the morning show. And he said, but he has to give me a bottle of wild turkey, he said. And I never did. But here's what I know. He's since passed, and I was pleased to be able to speak at his funeral. I hated that he was having a funeral. I wanted him to still be around. But from what I understand, in his later years, he would tell his wife, it's 5 o'clock on Friday, turn the radio on. And he would listen every single Friday to make sure. Because if I didn't play it, I don't care. He would have come down and kicked my ass. So we are honored that his family allows me to keep on playing it. It keeps his voice alive, and that's the real meaning for why we do that. And I'm honored to be able to do it. This guy could have worked at any place, any job in this industry, whether in New York, L.A. He could have been national news all day long for 50 years. He stayed in San Antonio because he believed in the community and he loved the station. So that's why we're honored to play that. So that's the Bob Guthrie story, Carrie. People wanted me to do that again.
I love that story. Yeah, it's a good story.
All right, so from something great, from something uplifting, and from a guy who was clearly a mentor to anybody who came into the building, and he was a guy that you were afraid of until you found the gumption to go up and talk to a story of stupidity out of Hollywood and out of politics. You want to start with Kamala Harris and Tulsi Gabbard? Do you have a story on that?
I do, yeah.
Because this to me, when I heard this yesterday, I almost said, Mike, I love you, but I got to do the show. Because this is how stupid I found this to be. Tulsi Gabbard handed Kamala Harris her rear end. She used fact. She used actual stats. She used what she actually did as a prosecutor. And Harris had no answer. And then the campaign manager later thinks he figured it out. Please give me the story.
From the Washington Examiner, MSNBC host Joy Reid and New York Times writer Wajahat Ali floated the idea that Russian bots are boosting Representative Tulsi Gabbard's presidential bid on Twitter. Beware the Russian bots and their promotion of Tulsi Gabbard and sowing racial discord, especially around Kamala Harris, said Ali, who contributes both to The Times and CNN. It is notable her purpose in these debates has been specifically to take Harris down, Reid responded to Ali's tweets. In February, NBC issued a report on Gabbard's campaign that claimed she had become a favorite of the sites Moscow used when it interfered in 2016.
Wow.
The 2020 hopeful has received criticism for meeting with Russian-backed Syrian dictator Bashar Assad in 2017. After the Democratic primary debate Wednesday, Gabbard called Senator Kamala Harris's accusations that she was an Assad apologist a cheap smear, adding she believed Assad was a torturer and murderer. After the first presidential debate in June, Gabbard claimed Google censored her campaign, for which reason she's suing the company for $50 million. After the second debate, she was the most Googled Democratic candidate in the field. Gabbard's currently tied for 9th place in the Democratic presidential primary with 1% support in the polls, according to Real Clear Politics.
Okay, so does Joy Reid also say in that piece, does she say at all that it's racist for Kamala Harris to go after Joe Biden the way that she is?
No.
Now, I could be wrong here, but Kamala Harris has only gone after Joe Biden. She's on stage to take down Joe Biden. Mm-hmm. He's an old white guy. She is a younger, I think that she identifies as African-American, although she's Jamaican and Indian. I'm not sure how you make that connection. But either way, she's representing herself as the civil rights movement candidate. She is the black woman in the race. And again, that's up to your interpretation, what her heritage is. But she's somebody the left would call of color. She's brown. And she's going after the white guy. How is that not racist if Tulsi Gabbard going after Kamala Harris is racist? They're suggesting that the Russian bots, I guess, want somebody white versus somebody who's not. And for Joy Reid to bring it up, I mean, that's why Joy Reid brings it. Joy Reid is an out-of-control racist on television. She's allowed to be because she's black. But if she weren't, she wouldn't have a job. So this is, I mean, it really is that stupid. Carrie, you're a news person. Does this come off as stupid to you?
It does, yes.
Is Gabbard, in your opinion, going after Harris any stronger than Harris is going after Biden?
No.
So, I mean, all's fair, right?
It's supposed to be, yeah.
And let me throw this into the fray. And Sam, I'll take calls on the debates. I'll take calls on this lunacy about Harris. Let me throw this into the mix. Julian Castro the other night, who wants open borders, who's a far left-wing progressive guy, who has really flourished into that role since his job at HUD. I don't know what he did as HUD director, but Ben Carson is making him look silly in the job at HUD. Ben Carson is doing so much more. But having said that, I had Julian Castro on this show back in 2008. In 2008, it was John McCain versus Barack Obama. Julian Castro was the mayor of San Antonio. And we were talking about everything. You know, Julian Castro, I'll give him credit. He's not a wuss like his brother Joaquin. Joaquin is afraid of me and afraid to come on the show. Julian came on the show several times. Then he stopped after a while. I guess he figured that it wasn't helping him to be on with a guy who's opposed to him politically. But I like mixing it up. I gave him credit for doing that. And we were always very cordial. Never friends, but always very cordial. He was on the show via phone, I believe. And we were discussing John McCain and Barack Obama. And somehow because I asked him, I said, listen, it sounds like you agree with McCain on some things or something like that. And again, I'm paraphrasing, but it's in context. And he kept on going on about John McCain in a negative light. And I said, why do you have such a negative look? The guy's a war hero. He's a this, he's a that, he's the other. And he said, well, because, you know, there's a racial issue here. And I said, in what form and fact? What are you talking about? And the reason why he was basically alleging John McCain was a racist was because Arizona was the last state to recognize MLK Day as a holiday. Carrie, you remember that or you don't remember that?
I don't remember that.
That was the discussion. I said, are you serious? I said, there were far more reasons than it was MLK Day why Arizona was saying no and didn't want to be forced by the federal government to recognize the day. They did eventually do it, but there was some tax reason, there was some business reason, some reason that was being given. And I don't even think that John McCain, a U.S. Senator, had anything to do with it. That would be a state-level decision, not a U.S. Senate-level decision. But having said that, he was one of those in 2008, if I remember correctly, and I'm pretty sure I do. And I'm sure we've got the tape somewhere of that interview. I don't know where, but we'll find it if we have to, where he was calling John McCain a racist. And the reason why was because of MLK Day in Arizona. So this is not a new playbook for Julian Castro. Julian Castro the other night said, the president is a racist. He said those words, the president is a racist. Like most people on the left, he never said why. He never gave any reason. He never gave any evidence. He never gave any examples. He just said he is a racist. And he's saying that in the hopes of getting people to jump on this ridiculous idea, the ludicrous idea of having an open border and decriminalizing illegal immigration. And then you say, well, then what do you do then? Well, it would be a civil charge. All right, so you charge them civilly. We're going to try them in small claims court? What do you mean? What does that look like? And better question might be, if you're going to decriminalize the act of illegally entering this country and then illegally being in the country, what do you do with them when they get here? Just let them float around in society? Hey, we're here. Boom. Have a nice day. I mean, it doesn't make any sense, and he really has no answers. So what do you do when you have no answers? Well, you're a racist for asking. Well, he's a racist in the White House. They were racist for not making MLK Day a national holiday immediately in Arizona. I'm of a darker tone. I'm Hispanic. Therefore, I can call anybody and everybody of a lighter shade racist, and you can't question me on it. Well, guess what? I'm not sure that my skin is much lighter, but it is. I'm questioning you on it. I'm calling you on it. Give examples of racism by either this president or by John McCain. Or stop saying it. Because you actually look foolish. You look immature and childish, like you don't have a good argument. Because your open borders policy is one that nobody in America wants. Maybe a very small percentage want. And you're not going to be able to sell it. But if you say racist, you think they're going to vote for you. Because they did. When people said racist, people went and voted for Obama. Say, I better vote for Obama. You're not Obama, Castro, okay? You're not. That he was an anomaly in that he was so powerful when he spoke. And so able to grab an audience's attention. You're not that guy. Although, and Carrie, I don't know if you noticed this, Julian Castro appears to have studied Obama's speech tempo, if you will, his cadence. and how he pauses and how he looks.
I can hear that, yeah.
There's something different. When I used to interview him, he didn't talk like that. So it's all very interesting to me. 888-941-PAGS, joepags.com. Your thoughts on the whole Tulsi Gabbard Russian bots thing and why the left is protecting Harris. We know why. And also Julian Castro just saying somebody's a racist and thinks that's going to end it. By the way, when he said it to me, it didn't end. And it's probably why he didn't come on the show anymore. And his brother's just scared. 888-941-PAGS, joepags.com. Stay here. Great to have you, the Joe Pags Show, 888-941-PAGS, joepags.com. Get to your phone calls in a moment. Summer is here. Time to get out there and start grilling, start cooking some meat up on the grill, barbecue with the family, have some friends over, jump in the pool, jump in the lake, do what you have to do. You got to do it, though, with Butcher Box meat. It's great stuff. I have it delivered to the house, and it's absolutely delicious. We're talking about grass-fed beef, and everybody has told me that's the way to go. Grass-fed beef is actually, it tastes so much better and so much more healthy for you. Free-range organic chicken, wild-caught sockeye salmon, Butcher Boxes, over 20 different cuts of meat, customizable boxes, and a variety of other options to choose from, too. They work closely with the producers, the best farms, to ensure you've got better quality, better tasting, nutrient-enriched and dense meat with no added hormones or antibiotics ever. Butcher Box is delivered right to your door. Free shipping, too. And a month's worth of meat from Butcher Box comes out to less than $6 a meal. Get some right now. ButcherBox.com/PAGS. Get $20 off your first box, plus 6 extra burgers in every box until October 15th. ButcherBox.com/PAGS. Do it right now. ButcherBox.com/PAGS. $20 off. Free burgers in every box. Get it done. Let me go to the phone lines. A lot of people want to be heard on the alleged racism, the alleged Russian bots. Julian Castro throwing the word racist around as if he knows something. And I'm going to call him out. He was on this very program when he did the same to John McCain. 888-941-PAGS, joepags.com. It's going to be line 1. Keith is in Yakima. Keith, what's going on? Hi.
Hey, Joe.
Hey.
So basically, I don't really have an opinion on the whole racism thing. I mean, I know it's hypocritical from the left side all the time, but I just had a quick question for you. Like, as far as the liberal cities, you know, like Seattle and New York and San Francisco and stuff, you know, it's hard being in Washington on the eastern side. We're all conservative over here, but unfortunately, the west side pretty much runs the whole state. But where do you think that those cities will end up going? I mean, do you think they could ever come back from how far left they've gone, or do you think they're just going to like collapse in on themselves?
Well, it would be hard. It would be hard to consider that they can. But then again, we had a very left-leaning country for 8 years under Obama, and now Trump is in there and changing everything around. So it is doable. When it comes to New York City, think about it. Rudy Giuliani was the mayor when 9/11 happened. So it was a Republican that was in charge of that city. Bloomberg alleged that he was a Republican when he ran and when he won that city as well. It has gone far. It's gone far left. It's fallen out of the car to the left now, but can it rebound? I think so. I think that you show that the right brings jobs, the right brings wages up, the right brings employment, and the right also brings you, Republicans bring you, conservatives bring you, a freer, more liberated, less regulated America. People just have to realize that again, and I think people like you and me probably have to educate them as to that happening, right?
Yep, that's right. That's exactly right. That's why I love the show. So.
All right, brother. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, listen, it's a great country with great people. I was talking to my friend the other day who lives in Oregon, and I think in Oregon it's about 200,000 people to switch it from left to right, from blue to red. That's not that many, 200,000 people. And we're heard in Oregon. And a lot of people in Oregon did vote for the president. A lot of people in Oregon want lower taxes. And again, just the big cities are really driving that state being a leftist blue state. That can be changed. That can be turned over. And I think it probably will be if you keep on having really good people, smart people move from California to there and from other places to there as well. When we come back, Adam Kennedy, he's from the White House. We're going to talk about the jobs numbers came out today. They're incredible. The border and the Democrats going down there for more photo ops and more on the Joe Pags Show. Stay here. Stations across the land, joepags.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, email, all right there. Also Newsmax TV. It's the Joe Pags Show. Glad to have you here. Really glad to have back Adam Kennedy, Deputy Assistant to the President, also White House Deputy Director of Communications. Adam, always an absolute pleasure. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks so much for having me back on.
You're very welcome. This has been a win-win-win, and then a little bit of a win for the president this week. And I said I was going to start with these employment numbers, and I want to go there because I don't think that we talk about it enough. I think that people on our side, the side of traditional American values, and people should go to work and earn a good living and live the American dream. I don't think that we talk about it enough because we kind of take it for granted. We assume it because we know that's what this country is. But let's bring it home. I saw a number today, 157 some odd million Americans working. That's pretty significant, isn't it?
Oh, it's fantastic, and it really shows the momentum and the power of this Trump economy. You know, I remember back when he was first elected when we had all these people saying, prepare for a recession, the economy was going to collapse. Now we're in 2.5 years of one of the strongest growths in American history. I mean, really, it's incredible. We have manufacturing jobs, over 500,000 coming back to this country. We have new factories opening up. We have employment across the board going up. And the fact of the matter is, it's not just employment that's going up, it's income and its wages going up. Since tax reform was passed, we've had the average family and the average worker gain about over $5,000 in income. That's huge.
It's amazing.
And it's only going to increase as these economic policies continue to go forward.
I think this is important to bring it forward as well. And tell me if I got this right. In the municipalities where they've actually pushed a $15 an hour minimum wage, Rashida Tlaib, by the way, wants 20 now, where they pushed that, business has left, business has shuttered, employment has gone down. Where we haven't pushed this fake, idea of $15 an hour for minimum wage, wages have gone up, growth has gone up, hiring has gone up, and manufacturing has come back. Do I have that right?
That sounds right to me. And really what's amazing here is where we're seeing the growth, where we're seeing people gain incomes, is because of this president's policies.
Yeah.
Democrats on the Hill can talk about artificially doing this one-size-fits-all minimum wage, but the fact of the matter is workers are getting an increase. They're getting more income. They're getting better benefits because of this president's policies. And I think that's really the win here. The win here is for the American worker. Democrats are on the Hill. They're campaigning. They're talking about all this stuff about, if we only increase it to $15 an hour. Under this president, we're actually getting results.
No, absolutely right. It's Adam Kennedy, Deputy Assistant to the President, White House Deputy Director of Communications. But if I watched the Democrat debates the other day, and I should believe them, right? They said that the president's policies and the tax cuts are only benefiting the top 1%. And those top 1% are just like hiding it under their mattresses, right?
You watch the debates? I'm so sorry.
It's what I do for a living. I have to. Come on.
I don't envy you. The fact is that's just simply not true. Workers, what we've seen actually is non-supervisory workers, meaning people who aren't managers, people who are actually working with their hands, who are on the line. Those are the people who are seeing the fastest growth in their wages. People who used to be left behind in previous administrations, people without high school degrees, college degrees, veterans, women, African Americans, Hispanics, people who used to be marginalized in this economy, they're the ones seeing the lowest unemployment. They're the ones seeing the biggest gains in income and in wages. The fact of the matter is this president's economy is lifting up every American, and we're so proud of it. We're going to continue to push forward. This is what real American growth looks like.
It's Adam Kennedy from the White House. Julian Castro, former mayor of the city where I am, San Antonio, he actually said, because they can't keep arguing that the Trump economy is bad, because it's not. It's incredible. It's some of the best economy we've ever seen in recorded history. So he actually said, Trump didn't do that. Obama did it. He actually said, this is before they all, jumped at Obama and called him a horrible president. They basically did that the other night, too. But he did. He said that Obama caused this good economy. I mean, it would be funny if people didn't take it seriously. I mean, that's just dumb, isn't it?
Yeah, I forgot it was Obama who passed the tax cuts. It was Obama who did all the deregulation. I mean, no, please, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
The fact is that under the previous president, we had an anemic economy. His own advisors were saying 2% growth is the new normal. Get ready for this sluggish economy. That's going to be the rest of your life, and that's going to be your children's life as well.
Yeah.
This president rejected all of that. This president said, absolutely not. We have a bright future ahead. We're not going to just turn our back to it. We're going to embrace it. We're going to move forward with it, and that's what we're seeing today.
Yeah, and Obama's the president who said those manufacturing jobs are gone. They're not coming back. So I'm not sure what Castro's talking about. It's Adam Kennedy from the White House. Go ahead.
Didn't Obama said you need some sort of magic wand or something to get manufacturing jobs back? Well, I guess this president has.
I guess Trump came in with the magic wand. It is Adam Kennedy from the White House. Let's talk about the border. Democrats like going down there, getting a photo op, They pretend to cry. AOC says she was physically and sexually threatened. She tweeted this by Border Patrol agents, but has no badge number, has no names, and took no action. They say that women are drinking out of toilets and we're running concentration camps. Adam, maybe I'm the crazy one, but I tweeted this a little while ago. The Dems went back to the border today. Did they go there to thank the Border Patrol for the hard work they're doing to try to quell this crisis? Did they go down there to say, hey, we're going to fund some more facilities so that we can actually handle these people better? Are they doing that down at the border today, you think?
They must be. Why else would they go down? The fact of the matter is that our brave men in law enforcement are doing an outstanding job.
Yeah.
I joke, but in all seriousness, these Democrats, all they want to do is politicize the issue. They don't want to get actual solutions.
Right.
They could in August, when they're taking vacation, actually spend time to pass legislation and fix these loopholes that the president's been pointing out for 2.5 years, but they won't. They've refused to. Now, at the same time, this president is getting historic action. We just had the Supreme Court rule that the Department of Defense can use money to finish and increase the speed of building this wall. By the fall, we're going to have 4 miles a week being built.
That's great.
At the same time, and that's only going to increase. By the spring, they expect even more than that. At the same time, we signed an agreement with Guatemala, the Safe Third Country Agreement, which means fewer and fewer illegal immigrants are going to be held and released in this country. They're going to be sent to Guatemala to have asylum there. And at the same time, we've had Mexico increase the migrant protection protocols so that people are kept in Mexico as they wait their adjudication for asylum, not here in the United States, where they're just released into our communities and rarely show up to court. This president's making real action to, A, stop people from crossing the border, and then if they do cross the border, catch them and make sure they're not released into this country. It's this president who's taking action while Democrats are going down to the border, demonizing our brave men and women of law enforcement and grandstanding for political gain.
It is Adam Kennedy, Deputy Assistant to the President, White House Deputy Director of Communications. And again, yes, I had to watch, but in watching these debates, if you didn't know this country at all, and you just were visiting and happened to speak English very well, and you watch the debates, you would think that we're the horrible, most evil country on planet Earth. We're trying to warm the globe until we can make the oceans boil. This president loves putting babies in cages, I'm told. Adam, it's not lost on me that millions of people around the globe are literally dying trying to get to this country. Why do you think, and again, it's not your job to decide how they campaign, but why do you think the Democrats think that a campaign of negativity and hatred toward this country is the way to go? I don't get it.
I can't speak to any particular candidate. I can't speak to any particular campaign. What I can speak to, though, is that we see repeatedly that opponents of this president don't seem to have pride in this country. They don't seem to think we live in a great country. They don't seem to think that Americans are a great people. This president is the exact opposite. He's going to stand up for Americans. He believes in Americans, and his policies put Americans in the driver's seat, not the government.
The agenda on the left also is that this president is a racist. Julian Castro, again, I don't want to get a specific talk about him, but Castro brought this up as well as others had. In fact, the moderators on these debates were kept on saying racist, bigotry, racism, bigotry, racism, bigotry. Here's a guy that is reforming the prison laws and our entire correctional mechanisms that were put in place by Bill Clinton, supported by his wife Hillary Clinton, that would actually punish people of color. I don't like using that term. Black people more than they would white people. Crack cocaine, you're going to get more time than if you were selling powdered cocaine. There clearly was a diversity in how we were handling people, depending on which community they came from. This president is fixing it. We've talked about it many, many times in this very program. He's pardoning people that never should have gotten life sentences. He just got A$AP Rocky, this rapper, freed from Sweden, and he's on his way back home. How is it that the left agenda, and again, don't talk about specific candidates, I get it, but that agenda is he's a racist, that's why he has to go. Why does that work in their minds? And I know it's a scary place to get in their minds.
Well, it's their normal playbook. Time and time again, what we see is that when they run out of actual policies to put forward, and they have very few, so they're quick to run out, they resort immediately to calling their opponents racist or anything else so as to distract people from what the president's doing. But it's hard to be distracted when you're seeing your paycheck go up, when you're seeing you have better health care options, when you're seeing that you're better protected by our military and our law enforcement. That's not something that Democrats can hide from, and I don't think they're going to be able to hide from next year either.
I want to circle back to the border for a second before I let you go, and it's Adam Kennedy, Kennedy, Deputy Assistant to the President, White House Deputy Director of Communications. What a great win at the Supreme Court. What an amazing win. That the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, by the way, is overturned 80% of the time. You know that. They were not going to, that ruling wasn't going to stand. And of course, the president historically has had the right to redirect money here, there, and elsewhere, depending on the crisis or emergency needs. Was there any doubt in the White House as you walked the halls that this win was going to happen? I know it was along allegedly party lines in the Supreme Court, not that they were supposed to have parties, but this was a righteous decision. The president, of course, has that right, doesn't he? Oh,
absolutely. I mean, the fact of the matter is this shouldn't have been in doubt at all. They shouldn't have even been in the court system. The president has the right to do it. Past presidents have exercised similar rights. And what it really comes down to, though, is it the president's job to protect this country, secure its sovereignty, secure its borders, protect its people, or is it not?
Yeah.
We think it is. We think it's actually the primary responsibility, and the president's going to act for that.
And he did act for that, and you just wonder how much wall could have been built by now had we not had to go through all of this. Does the president ever run that through his head, or is it? He seems to be a contemplative guy who says, "I'm going to work on this until I win, no matter how long it takes." He doesn't seem to get frustrated by it. He just keeps doing it. Am I reading him right?
Well, I think what the president does is he tries every option under the sun. Anything we can do to get a win, to secure this country and protect the American people, we're going to do.
Yeah.
We don't think that it's just one option to protect the American people. It's anything we can do. We tried to work with Congress. Heck, we even put up DACA on the table if they wanted to negotiate with us. They said no. They were
and by the way, it was three times. It was 3 times DACA. It was the DACA recipients we have now is about 600 million or 600,000, whatever. He offered up 1.8 million or something, or 1.6 million, and they rejected it because they knew that he would be able to build the wall. Why do you think the wall is such a stopping point for them? It's common sense.
Because at the end of the day, this isn't about policy for them. This is about politics.
Right.
They don't want the president to get a win. They're afraid of the president getting a win. They saw what happened during the last election, and the last thing they want is for this president to come through for a win for the American people as he promised. Well, the president's already getting wins for the American people. We're going to continue to get wins for the American people. The president can't be stopped, and we're going to continue to move forward.
Deputy Assistant to the President, White House Deputy Director of Communications, Adam Kennedy. Adam, thanks a million. Always appreciate it.
Thanks so much for having me on again.
All right, brother. We're back after this on the Joe Pags Show. Stay right here. Joe Pags Show, 888-941-PAGS, joepags.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, email, all that and more. I want to remind you about ButcherBox. ButcherBox is the right place to go right now to get incredible quality meat sent to your house. It's free shipping, and this stuff is the good stuff. Talk to nutritionists. Talk to people at the gym. They're going to say grass-fed for the beef. They're going to say free-range chicken. They're going to say wild-caught sockeye salmon. You get all that from ButcherBox, and we've had it at the house now for a while. About to order some more because it's just that good. Over 20 different cuts of meat available, customizable boxes, and a variety of other options to choose from. They work closely with the best farms to ensure not only an ethical process, but one that results in better quality, better tasting, nutrient-dense meat with no added hormones or antibiotics ever. ButcherBox is delivered right to your door with free shipping and a month's worth of meat from ButcherBox. If you add it up and do the subtraction and all that, going to be $6 a meal. You really can't beat it. Get enough burgers for all your barbecues as well. They're going to throw in 6 extra burgers in every box and save you $20 on the first order. Get them right now. ButcherBox.com/PAGS, P-A-G-S. ButcherBox.com/PAGS, ButcherBox.com/PAGS. Do it right now. You go to the phone lines at the time we have remaining. It's going to be Rudy on line 1. Rudy, what's going on? Rudy?
What's going on, brother?
What's happening, my man? Talk to me.
Hey, this stuff that they've been saying about Trump when he called those guys out on Baltimore, saying that there's trash, rats, drugs, and what have you not.
Right.
That Elijah, whatever his last name is, and Sanders, Bernie Sanders.
Yeah.
Didn't those two guys say the same thing?
Yes.
Quite a few years back. I know Bernie did because I heard him.
But Bernie said it. Bernie said it 4 or 5 years ago. Elijah Cummings said it 20 years ago. But they both said it was infested city. And look, the fact is, the president didn't say anything other people haven't been saying for a long time. Elijah Cummings is doing a horrible job in Baltimore. He knows it.
Yes, he is.
The people of Baltimore know it. And the only way they can get out of it is by calling him a racist.
Does that make those two guys racist? Because, like I said, they basically said the same thing. The same damn thing.
Well, Elijah Cummings is black, so he can't be racist. But Bernie Sanders is racist until you realize that he's a leftist, socialist, Democrat, so he can't be racist only. The only racist person that can be involved here is the evil Republican Donald Trump. That's what their point is.
Yeah. You know what, Joe? I'm out here in this hot sun building a shed.
Right.
Okay, and I stood back and looked at it, and I realized, wow, I didn't do that. Somebody else did. Earl Obama.
That's
Love the show.
All
Love
right.
the show, brother.
All right, I appreciate you, Rudy. Always appreciate Rudy calling. I thought he was going to say it was a white shed, Carrie. And if it's a white shed, forget it. It's clearly a racist shed.
Of course it is. Yes.
Saw an intelligent tweet a little while ago. What I can't remember. The robes and the hoods of the KKK. What color were they?
They were white.
What? What? So somehow we're supposed to believe they were good? Oh, no. I think that Democrat organization, the KKK, made up by Democrats, built by Democrats, the military arm of the Democrat Party, I think they were all bad people who were wearing the white sheets. I'm going to put that right out there. Bad. So the study in New Zealand, stupid. Or should I say, put some shrimp on the ball, be stupid? I think you should probably say it like that.
No, please don't say it.
Did they say the shrimp on the Barbie in New Zealand too, or is it just Australia?
I'm going to say no. Maybe it's just Australia who says that.
We're New Zealand. We sound like them, but we're not. It could be that.
Dude,
that could be their slogan.
It's horrible.
Their national slogan.
It's horrendous. No.
We're not Australia. There you go. What? It could be their slogan.
Perfect.
Michelle, what's going on in Huntsville? Hi. We got about a minute.
Okay, so I just have 2 points on raising the minimum wage to $15 or $20.
Yeah.
The first point is that I've worked my whole life every single day and went to college at 30 years old so I could get a degree and get a job. And I can't see how people that have no education, haven't worked a day in their life, can start off making the same wages as I'm making. I don't agree with that. The other point is this just part of the socialists to bring us all to where we have one class, or 2 classes actually, the elites and then the rest of us, and we're all just making the same wages, and we're all in the troughs together.
Well, I think you make a perfect point, Michelle, and I want to expand upon that a little bit. I oftentimes will bring this up when we're talking about raising the minimum wage to $15 an hour. So entry-level EMTs make $15 an hour. You know, those who work in construction make $15 an hour. How much will they make if the guy dropping the fries and mopping the bathroom at McDonald's is making $15 an hour? Because if I'm an EMT saving lives, I'm going to need $30. If I'm building your house, I'm going to need $30. You think about it. What does that mean for other wages throughout our society? The fact is, it would mean they would go through the roof. That means everything costs more, and we couldn't afford that. Got to go on TV. We continue on radio. Stay right here.
This